Welcome. Today's class, we're going to be discussing about competition, joining our competition rather than fighting and trying to beat our competition. When we come back again to the example of the alchemist has his secrets. He's afraid that his secrets will get, he fears that his secrets will get stolen, and that if he does, then his life will be endangered. Somebody who is a Baal Bitachon, somebody who trusts in Hashem, does not fear of his competition. Someone, we have to understand that a person's willingness to help his competition will allow him to get exactly what he's apportioned to receive. It's amazing. Do you ever ask yourself in your business, how can I help my competition today? We never do that. We believe that everything we know is a trade secret, company trade secret, and we just don't want to share with others what we know. The Chazon Ish talks about an example where if someone opens a store, a store right in front of yours, you should help him and give him advice, even though you might be selling the same product. Pretty wild. In my vacation rental business, I used to always meet other vacation rental owners, share with them the software that I've used, that I've not used, and just, talk to them about things that worked for me and didn't work. And guess what? I was never worried that they were going to crush me. I was just telling myself, you know what? I'm helping. Why not? I'm not afraid. Why? Because if I was worried as to what my competition might do with the information that I give them, that means that I'm lacking trust in Hashem. I'm purely putting my faith in that person and saying, "Oh my God, the future of my business relies on the information I give that person." But this is exactly the opposite of what we learn and instructed to do. There's actually an example that the book brings out by Mr. Isaac Shalom, who was a pillar and a founder of the Flatbush Syrian community. He was very well known for welcoming new immigrants into the community. He taught them who to contact, where to go to buy products, how to pay, what are the tricks, even lend them money to start their businesses. All this just out of greatness and goodness of his own heart, and the option that any of these could have become his biggest competitors. You don't realize that sometimes by helping your competition, they might become your best ally. They might have an angle to the business that you don't. And so therefore, it's important to not be afraid of competition. There's a story that happened that's mentioned here in Borough Park, in the Brooklyn neighborhood, in January 2019, where there was a fire and there was a guy named Yossi Hyman who had a business called Yossi's Fish. The business was under flames. The building was under flames, and he was going to be out of business. The fish store literally across the street invited him to come in and run his fish business out of his store. Can you imagine doing this? Would you do the same thing? There was another time during COVID where business to run a vacation rental business, to do Airbnb short-term rentals, was illegal. What I did during this time is I worked with other business owners, and we lobbied to try to get the city to overcome the rules and make vacation rentals legal again, because this was the only way we would survive. What's interesting, what came out of this is that even though I'm helping the competition be in business, I could have just said, you know what, I'm happy that everybody just doesn't work and just, continues being offline till their death. But instead I said, you know what, no, we need to group up the owners. We created the Vacation Rental Owners Association. We made a nonprofit. We brought all the owners together, all the operators of Airbnbs, and came together and lobbied together. And as a team, forming as a community, we were able to get the city of Miami to overturn their decision to not allow vacation rentals to operate, because hotels at that time were allowed to operate. So this was a collective effort. And as a result, everybody was able to be back up and running. And as a result, some of these property owners, some of these companies looked out at us and said, "Oh wow, you know, tell me about your services. Oh, you know, maybe I could use your services." So this turned around to being such an amazing blessing. The take home today is basically, do not worry about your competition. Do not worry what's out there. It could be competition in work, it could be competition in your life, it could be competition in your family. Just be happy with what you have, be grateful for what you have. And if you're missing something, just make sure to use those words and speak those words to Kadosh Baruch Hu.